Hello, friends. How do families usually take a dog into their home? Some take their time, asking friends and strangers about the merits of a particular breed, the habits, specific behaviors, and risks awaiting the owners. Some go to a breeder or a pet shop without giving it much thought, and choose their four-legged friend in the spur of the moment. One way or another, the dog gets bought and brought home and gradually becomes a full-fledged member of the family. But isn't it strange that for some owners, their gentle, kind, loyal, and loving dog is just like another toy and entertainment? Admiring the dog and being proud of its success, these people value their own comfort most of all. They don't really care about their pet. They are the ones, not their dogs, that need all the praise from their friends and all the likes on social media. If the pet no longer invokes the admiration, well, this toy is broken. Bring on the next one. Do these owners feel any remorse when they decide to abandon their pet? Not because their life circumstances have changed, but simply because they got bored with the dog? No. But unfortunately, the fate of the abandoned dog is very sad. That's exactly what happened to Maverick, an old German Shepherd dog which was treated with true cruelty. The owners, a married couple, were choosing a dog and they were fascinated by a fluffy little ball joyfully jumping around them. They didn't doubt it for a second. It was the perfect companion. A well-behaved, strong, and brave German Shepherd was exactly what their big house needed. And Maverick didn't disappoint. He was energetic and fun and in perfect physical shape. The dog was ready to accompany the owners on their long walks in the forest. They were all very happy together. It seemed that it would last forever. As he aged, Maverick, of course, became less lively and active. But that's normal. No one gets younger with time. The dog himself didn't seem to be bothered by the changes happening to him. He was still completely healthy, but his desire to run around was getting replaced by the desire to lie at the feet of his favorite owner, squinting at the fire lit in the fireplace. He didn't know a different life and couldn't even imagine what kind of betrayal his beloved people were capable of. But the owners have been dreadfully watching him for some time now, discussing what Maverick used to be like and the way he was now. It's just the beginning, they said. What awaits us later on? Their future next to the aging dog worried them a lot. They talked about it being too big of a responsibility, as later on the dog would get sick often and become a helpless burden. Their concerns were confirmed by an internet search, where they read that as they get old, German Shepherds often suffer from incontinence and have a very high chance of getting cancer. Thus, convincing each other bit by bit, the couple came to the thought that it was time to part ways with Maverick. After all, he could become an overwhelming burden for them. Wouldn't it be better for everyone to send him to a pet shelter and get a new puppy for themselves since they love dogs so much? Even though Maverick didn't suspect the impending misfortune till the very last minute, it did happen. Even after being left at the shelter, Maverick couldn't believe for the longest time that his beloved owners, the meaning of his life, had abandoned him forever. Here in this strange place where he wasn't wanted, he couldn't understand what was happening at first. Maverick was left all alone in his sorrow, surrounded only by other dogs and the shelter employees. He began to worry, and this feeling wouldn't leave him. The employees that were taking care of him tried to brighten up his existence. They talked to him, petted him, and were very nice. But they were strangers. Where were the people that had always been around? Where did they go? After the worrying stage was over, the apathy began. It seemed that Maverick had realized that he was never going to see his former owners again. Having accepted his loss, he completely gave up, lost weight, and became indifferent to everything around him. Something needed to be done fast. People were always coming to the shelter looking for a dog to adopt. But an aging dog had a slim chance of finding a new home. After all, tiny puppies are so fluffy and cute. They get adopted quickly, while the older dogs could wait for a very long time or never get adopted at all. So the shelter employees decided to try and help the unfortunate dog by publishing his sad story on social media. The story was read by many. The shelter began to get visitors familiar with Maverick's story, but it was always someone else who went home with the new owners. Finally, Maverick got lucky. A married couple came for him, and soon he was being led out of the shelter. On his way to the car, the German Shepherd seemed very confused. Maverick understood that his life was taking yet another turn, but he didn't know what exactly to expect, now that he's already been betrayed once. Deep down, Maverick was probably hoping that his former owners came back for him, because when he saw people he didn't know, he lowered his head and stopped before reaching the car. His doubts didn't seem to bother the woman. She calmly put the new collar on Maverick's neck, petted him, and encouraged him to come with her. The rest of the way to the car, everyone who watched Maverick go could see his incredible transformation. It seemed as though the German Shepherd got stronger and younger with every step, which became lighter and more confident. Having laid down on the car seat, the dog smiled. He realized that his suffering was over. He was going home, to his new, happy home. The shelter employees couldn't help telling everyone the happy ending of this sad story, and it had an incredible effect. Having seen how happy the new owners made Maverick, many decided to do the same. Now, more people started to come to the shelter to adopt dogs. Maverick and his fellow sufferers have already helped so many. Every day I get convinced that there are more good and kind people. When someone does good, it comes back to them. After all, life is a boomerang. Like our video if you agree, and we'll see you next time.